I work in Franklin, Massachusetts, which is a phenomenal district. I'm the assistant superintendent for teaching and learning, and I have the pleasure and privilege of being in our classrooms all the time. So rather than focus on a teacher I may have had, I'd rather talk about the teachers I see on a daily basis, teaching school the way I wish I had gone to school. So an example of that would be, I've seen first graders talking about number decomposition in ways that are absolutely mind-blowing. I've seen second graders participate in Socratic seminars taught by their teacher in order to be able to listen well to one another, repeat back what was said, and be able to add to it in a comprehensive and thoughtful kind of way. I also have the privilege of being in all of our schools, 6 elementary schools. I was in a 4th grade recently where they were doing an augmented reality lesson. I walked in and the students all had their goggles on. They were going on a field trip to the West Coast as part of their study of regions of the US, and they were on a gold rush. And the simulation had them panning for gold. I was so torn between wearing the goggles and going on the field trip with them and the option instead of sitting and watching the children as they discovered with their goggles on what it was to be a part of that gold rush. In our middle schools, 3 middle schools, I've seen a really fabulous author visit done by Skype. One of our reading specialists had kids read books by a young author, 16 years old, and had her Skype in with the students. The students had prepared ahead of time by preparing a number of questions for the author, some of which were about her book and not all of which were about the book. Some of them were more about her life as a writer and her development as a writer. And this individual, the student writer, has self-published a couple of books now, and the kids were just enthralled listening to her as an example of how your dreams can come true. In another middle school, I've seen mystery Skype visits with 7th grade social studies classes where they've been able to really have to guess using a 20-question game where their mystery Skype partners were from, what part of the world, right down to longitude and latitude. Fascinating way to learn about longitude and latitude that certainly didn't exist when I was in school. And at our high school, we're very fortunate. We have a state-of-the-art $104 million building that just opened 4 years ago. We have students participating in TV production, audio sound recording, a kinesthetics lab where they can analyze the heart rate of the body after being on exercise machines. We have a ceramics room where they're able to very actively create their own ceramics and then fire them in the kiln. Additionally, we have a community service project and we support empty bowls as a result of that through that ceramics program. Plus, we have a number of active debate kinds of classes and other ways that students demonstrate owning their own learning.